Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're going to do a horror convention spotlight again. We have Jay from the South Carolina Horror, and we're going to be out there again this year, 2023. How's it going today, Jay?
Doing great. How are you, my dude?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good, my friend. So I understand that this is your second year. You're going to guys be rocking South Carolina.
First
First
year.
year? First year.
First year.
Okay. First year. So this is the first anniversary. So tell some of my viewers what to expect this year in South Carolina.
All right. All right, we can do that. Well, I want everybody to forget everything they know about conventions because we're the anti-convention. Um, I've done this is my ninth show that I've done to my career. I did 8 up north in New England. But down here, I wanted to show that it was affordable, had good guests, was safe for families, etc. So we don't charge the $100 for the weekend. We don't charge all that other stuff, photo ops for another 100 or anything like that. We're a family-friendly convention where people can experience a horror show, uh, including a haunted house inside of it with guests. I mean, everything you'd find at a convention, guests and vendors, artists. We have a 2-room haunt, etc. Supports local charities like the Ronald McDonald House of Columbia. But we are very much the anti-show. We're the ones that puts the other ones on their ear because we charge 20 for the weekend in advance. So we provide the same thing everybody else does.
Okay, sweet. And of course, some of the guests that we're expecting this year.
Well, we have a few guests. We've got James O'Barr, of course, who created The Crow, among other things. So he's a great get. Tyler Mane, who's Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's Halloween. My personal favorite Myers. I like the brutality.
Yes,
I'm a huge
definitely
Rob
fits
Zombie guy. Yeah, he is. We have Tiffany Shepis. We've got John Russo, who wrote Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, and a bunch of other projects. We have Melissa Count from The Walking Dead, Jason Yakinen from Troma. We have a bunch of others. I mean, we've got a great list going. Dave Madison, the director, Bill Diamond, who's a Emmy Award-winning Jim Henson puppeteer. He'll be bringing the Little Shop of Horrors, Audrey Plant, for all of you to enjoy. You can sit in there and take a selfie if you like. So we've got a great mix for year one. It's great. It's fortunate to have that sort of a lineup. But when you work in the industry for as long as I have, you tend to get a few phone numbers and say, all right, let's just all come down and have fun. Let's put on a show because they don't have it here. And that's just a travesty.
and I understand that you said that you also will be having a haunted attraction there as well.
Yes, we have Dark Castle of Elgin, South Carolina, doing a 2-room haunt. It's an add-on. I'm not sure what they're charging, $5 or $10 to get in, but it is a good scare. So they'll be setting up the entire area of this conference room adjacent to the main room with a lot of scares for it's not going to be light. It's not just going to be some curtains hanging around. It's going to be pretty gnarly.
Awesome. I'm a haunted house fan as well as I'm a horror convention fan. So I mean, this is definitely a win-win. So on vendor wise, how many of the vendors would we be expecting to be there?
Well, I mean, in the main room, we've got about 100 tables and then another 50 booths on top of that. So it's a pretty large area. Soda City Comic Con does their show in the same building, but we've kind of put booths all around the outside. We've got double rows of tables all in the middle. We have got a hallway full of tables as well. So for year one, it's a pretty big building. So year one, it's going to be quite a showing. We are just about sold out of tables. We do have a waiting list. So
Okay.
tickets are selling well. We've already sold over 200 tickets and it's only July. So people want this show, and the response we've had has been crazy. I'm not used to this type of response this early.
Now, is there a VIP option?
There is, however, unlike most shows, this is why I keep preaching that we're the anti-show, is because I've been around conventions since I was 5. I started up doing Boston Comic Con when it was in the basement of a hotel, pretty much. Being around all sorts of greats and being around people that run the businesses. I've been around there for so long that I've seen families that can't afford shows, people that can't do this. They spend all their money on autographs and they can't get they can't get artist work, they can't buy anything because people just charge so much. So our big thing, like I said, is we are going to provide quality plays, quality price. We're also going to be doing VIPs in a way that no other place does that I know of. So we are charging 20 in advance if you buy your weekend pass. But if you buy your weekend pass in advance and you're one of the first 50 people in line, you get a free VIP upgrade. And we don't charge for that.
Nice.
Reason being, it is really a cash grab for VIPs. Sure, we're going to have a bag with a few prints in it, probably some stuff from vendors, but it's free. my gift to you, because you're taking a chance on me putting together a show. It's my responsibility to give you a value, not just say, give me all your cash and then go see a couple of celebrities and artists. I want you to hang around for the weekend. I want you to have fun, experience the haunt experience, meeting celebrities and artists. I'm an artist myself, so I know what it takes to sell art. Vendors, charities, etc. So cosplay, whatever it has to offer. VIPs are absolutely free if you're one of the first 50 people in line. After that, we cut it off. There's no more VIPs. We're not charging a dime for VIPs.
That's pretty amazing. Now, would there be any type of after party?
There will be an after party. Actually, our venue is on a 2-block area. We've got the convention center right down the street in the corners of the hotels where everybody's staying at. And then if you cross the street after that road, there's our VIP at the Craft Axe Brewery. It's going to be a ultimate zombie after party. We've got John Russo being the guest of honor for that, who wrote Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead. If you know anything about zombies, flesh-eating zombies, he's the man who created them. So this is sort of a thank you to Mr. Russo. Sorry, I'm going to shut off my phone. So professional, that's how it goes. So we're going to be taking over the Craft Axe Brewery. It's a 2-floor, 2 to 3 bars, I think, is in there. Territory, 2 floors, and we have black lights and zombie targets. We're going to have White Zombie beer highlighted by Catawba Brewery. So we've got a couple of sponsors on this one, and it's just a great way to say thank you, Mr. Russo, for creating flesh-eating zombies as we know them. And for people to get together, bond, and have fun, come together as a horror community. It's going to be fascinating. I'm actually excited to see what happens. We could have, like I tell everybody, we could have free Ferraris in our building. If I don't tell you about it, you won't know about it. But if you come and hang out, there's a lot to be had for a very, very low price.
Now, so any guests who are coming out of state, I understand you said there's a hotel nearby. Will there be any special accommodation discounts for?
Actually, we're sold out at our host hotel, and then we're sold out at the next hotel. So there's a lot of hotels in the area. They're used to USC football games. University of South Carolina Gamecocks is the stadium that's literally across the street from us. They're down the street. The stadium's down the street, but the USC doors are right across the street from us. So they're used to hundreds of thousands of people. So we have about 200 hotels and 1,000 restaurants in a 3-mile area. So there's a lot of stuff there. I didn't even know we were sold out till this morning when people are trying to say, I can't book my hotels, man. So I called them and said, what's the deal? Oh, no, you're sold out. Oh, no kidding. The good problems to have.
Yeah,
but there's a ton around there, though.
Okay. Now, and this is going on for 3 days?
2 days. We're doing the Saturday and Sunday. For year one, you never want to book out a Friday, especially when I'm in a city convention center, so they're city run, it's city priced. There's no negotiations possible.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is bite the bullet year one, load it up with vendors and artists, get a few guests. We're fortunate to have so many good guests for a year one show in a place that hasn't had a show. So it's a big risk. Honestly, just to do a show is a big risk. And this is my 9th, so I know this business well enough. We're already going to be profitable.
And I understand this is going to be the first horror convention in South Carolina.
That I know of. I've heard snippets of, there was trying to have one here, and they almost had one there, and they might have had one however long ago. Not my damn business. The only consistency that we're going to have is having a state show. Up north, we had no shows in Vermont. I made Vermont Comic Con. We did that for 5 years straight, 2 spring shows for Green Mountain Comic Expo. I did the Rock Comic Expo in New Hampshire. But when you have the only show in the state, of course, you put the state's name on there. It's recognizable. Not only that, but if, let's just say, somebody in the next town over says, we have a giant venue, we'll charge you half because we want the money coming in. Great. I can move it anywhere in South Carolina. It's South Carolina Horror Convention. Yep. So you have to know your marketing, you have to know your audience, and to be in the Midlands where we are in Columbia, it's accessible to everybody in the entire state. They don't have to go to Texas and Florida and Georgia. Sure, they want to do that too. That's cool, but they can afford to do that. If they want to go to, I don't know, whatever damn show like Mad Monster or Horror Hound or Crypticon or anything like that, that charge a crap ton for the weekend, they can still do that. And they can have a state show that goes, you know what? Guy's a little strange. He's a horror guy, but you know what? We didn't go broke going to his show.
Exactly.
So when I get emails like, hey, can you get Nev Campbell? Hey, can you get Robert Englund? Sure, I can. I can get them next week. but I'm going to be charging you 100 for the weekend, and then you're going to charge 100 for those autographs, and then you've got nothing left. This is an experience for you to share with your family, your friends, even your neighbors or whoever. Just invite some random person. 20 for the weekend, and you get to meet Tyler Mane, who plays Michael Myers, John Russo, James O'Barr, Tiffany Shepis. The list goes on and on. Like I said, I want people to experience art too. I'm an artist. I do posters for a living for movie companies and also just for myself to sell at shows. So I know that these big shows, we're fighting over scraps between the artists or the vendors. You got to get the money that's left over from the autographs and after they buy their tickets. It doesn't make any sense to me. Sure, this is not a get rich thing because I'm an artist. I do fine in my own right. This is more of a labor of love, and I can prove that I can still make decent cash as a business because you have to. It's a business, you're not doing this for free, man. And not have your neighbors and friends and family, community people go broke going to your show. It shouldn't be. We have to save up from May to September just to attend this thing, get everything we want. It should be accessible to everybody. And it absolutely is necessary for someone to do it that way because I just don't care about $100 shows. I don't. Like, I'm an old school punk guy, man. $10 shows, $5 shows back in the day at bars. I enjoyed it. It was a better experience. So we're kind of bringing the anti-show to South Carolina. That message is tough to get out because everybody's so used to ridiculous prices.
They are. All right, so here's the next question. So I got a lot of crap for this in one of my videos. When 5 things I hate about conventions, and one of the things I brought, well, I understand because they're horror conventions, that horror conventions are not kid friendly. As
they're not kid friendly.
I mean, some of them are party time, drunks, half naked women, they're not kid friendly. Will South Carolina be kid friendly?
Absolutely. I mean, my kids are going. I've got 3 daughters between the ages of 10 and 12. And I've got neighbors who bring their kids. They're a lot younger too. Somebody told me today, I'm bringing my 1-year-old to their first convention. No, what we try to treat it as is cosplay is allowed. We also have a 0 harassment policy. I'm a huge fan of and proponent of cosplay does not equal consent. We preach respect from the beginning. We also have a no weapons policy. We don't even allow cosplay firearms. We make it completely safe for everybody. Of course, we've got security and cops, but it is more of like a mall, like a nice mall where you can get a value, where you can get a shirt, you can get a cup, you can get artwork, you can get this or that, and kids can ask questions because they're the next customers 10 years from now, 15 years from now, or 8 years from now. They're going to be the ones that say, wow, I had such a great time. I want to go to one of those. So we have a responsibility to make sure it is absolutely safe for families of kids of any age, because we don't allow any bullshit. We don't. None at all. We have such policies that have zero tolerance. I mean, we just make sure everybody comes in, has a good time. You would have a worse experience going to a restaurant in town. I mean, this is a place where people can ask questions, have fun, experience something, see different things. I mean, you can see Godzilla, and you can see Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and all sorts of great cosplay that I know they're coming, haunted houses, and so many things that are in South Carolina that people still don't know about. So I guess we're kind of shining a spotlight on what actually exists now. I'm just a small speck on that map. There's a ton in South Carolina that people don't even know about.
I actually did my own little filming tour of The Strangers. Was actually filmed and filmed in Florence, and I did. But yeah, South Carolina and North Carolina have a lot of horror history behind them that most people don't know.
I mean, I'm from Massachusetts originally, so we've got Salem. There's a lot of history with Salem, Massachusetts. So when I came down here, I would research, this was filmed here and this from here. That swamp thing was done down here and everything else. I mean, there's so much here. There's costume shops in town that rely on your business instead of going on Amazon. There are boutiques and makeup places for your cosplay. There's mask makers in town. There's artists in town. There's restaurants that really want your business. So the people that we've partnered with share the same ideals that families should be welcome everywhere and that they should be safe wherever they go. hence our policies for the most part. But we really make it worth their while. I mean, there's so many places that could, and people that have messaged me saying, dude, what are you doing? 20 for the weekend? Are you nuts? Like, yeah, I'm pretty freaking nuts, man. 20 for the weekend. I mean, if I get 1,000 people, great. If I get 10 people, great. If I get 5,000, I don't really care. I don't care. It's going to be up to me to provide some value and some product that either people are going to want or they're not going to want. And it's not up to me. If I'm everywhere promoting every weekend, which we do, we've been doing shows for the last year. We barely had a weekend off, and we're still promoting during the week too. If we reach thousands of people, we've got 2,500 follows on our Facebook organically. We don't spend a dime on that crap either, because I don't want somebody from Zimbabwe chiming in like, hey, do you have, do you have this person or that person? No, I want people that are always engaged. We give away tickets all the time. We do as much as we can to say, we want you to come to our show. If I don't do a year two, I don't really care. If I do a year one, sure, whatever. I said that up north, and we did, I did 8 shows up there. Could this be the only one? Maybe if nobody shows up, sure. Yeah. I mean, but what we're bringing is different. And if I draw a crowd, it's because they want to be there. It's not because I'm forcing them or because there's anything spectacular that you just can't get anywhere else. But we have things you can't get anywhere else for that price, for sure. I just don't like the fact that people have to go broke doing fun things. I mean, go to a haunt. It's $45 a night sometimes for an hour. Right. So easily. If I'm bringing my 3 kids and my wife, that's 5 of us. We're talking a couple $100 there. That's insane. It's asinine, and it's not worth it. It's not necessary, and it's bad business, in my opinion.
You go to a haunt, and if you do a haunt and a convention in one night, just one person, right, you're already dropping $100. I mean, just to get into the door. Just get into the door. Then you got food, vendors, yep, autographs. I mean, you can drop on the low $300 to $500 at the average convention, just one day.
My wife and I, we went to one of those $100 weekend shows. We dropped easily a couple grand. I mean, and I said, you know what? Maybe I'll just do something that no one else wants to do. And I'm kind of the boogeyman in town in that way, in this convention world. Nobody likes me in that respect because I make them look bad. I can say, why are you charging $100 for the weekend for a VIP? Because you're giving them a print or 2 prints in a bag. I'll give them 3 prints in a bag and whatever anybody wants to stick in there, but I'm going to give it away because 1, it's year 1, man. 2, the most we'd ever would charge, if we charge 30 at the door, we're trying to get people to buy early to save $10. Okay, $30, whatever. That's the most expensive ticket you'll ever get at the show down here, at least for this year. Maybe we go up $5, $10 next year. But if we get people in the door, 20 for the weekend, we'll still do $20 tickets next year. There'll be a cutoff date. But if the savvy consumer knows that, they're going to go, all right, well, hell, we had such a fun time last time. Let's get our tickets before, I don't know, Christmas or something. And we have our tickets for next year. We're good. And we get the same price, Venue may change price too. The city might say, we need to charge you another $5,000. Okay, then I get off my tables a bit. But I'd still have it under the industry standard. Like they're up here, usually 100. Let's say, like, for example, I just got a table at a show that I won't name because I have no respect for them. I don't even want to give them the time of day and mention their name in here. But I'm an artist and I need a table at shows. It cost me $700 for a weekend as an artist. It's a lot of beans I got to sell. Yeah. So that same artist can go to my show for $150 this year. There's a big difference. I want people to actually work and actually have work. I go to shows to not sell my prints. I go to sell commissions. I get a lot of commissions at shows. I do sell prints, but that's not my focus. It's money all year as opposed to money for one weekend. So like our sponsors, Catawba or Craft X Brewery, they'll give a bounce back coupon or something to say, hey, we'll want your business more than just this weekend. That's what we preach. That's why we're the anti-convention.
Well, Horror Room would definitely be one of your sponsors next year. Just give me a heads up on that.
What's that?
I said Horror Room. We would definitely be one of your sponsors next year. I'm just giving you a heads up on that.
And yeah, I mean, I just want a good community, man. Like where people can go and not have to deal with all the bullshit. That's sorry if the language is bad, but
no, listen, this is a radio channel, but yeah, but I mean, my biggest thing, like I said, I did a whole video about 5 things I hate about horror conventions, and horror conventions have a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of drunks, it's a lot of assholes, there's a lot of smelly people. I mean, it's a lot of bullshit, and horror fans, there's a lot of awesome horror fans, but it's 50% of them they're complete assholes,
I
and
agree.
so it's a 50-50. And
It's from the top down. I mean, it really is. Who is the promoter? What do they do? Who are they really? I'm very accessible. Like when I email a show, I don't know who the hell I'm talking to, but not only do we tell you who we are, I promote myself as an artist, and I also promote the show at conventions. This is me. I own the show. Here's my wife. She owns the show too. We're a Mon Pont. My wife's a military veteran. We run it together. She's also a professor at university, so she's doing this out of the kindness of her awesome heart. But we love doing things together for our family. So doing this for other families too, and giving them a reason to not go broke, and giving them something of value that they can take home with them all year and say, you know what, damn, I can't wait till next year. So yeah, it starts from the top down. If you've got a bunch of rotten promoters, and there's a lot out there, you're going to have a product. They only care about money. That seems to be the only constant thing in the convention business, with a few exceptions. There's a few promoters that are awesome out there, but for the most part, they're corporate. They're idiots. They care nothing about their attendees. They care nothing about the product. They only care about the gate. And that sucks. They don't even walk around the show to say hi to people. I will shake hands on the sales floor. I will go out in line and check people in. I'll hand them water if it's hot out. You know, it's coming into my house. Like, come into my house, man, and have some fun. Let's all just build a community of freaky guys and girls together, and children. You know, let's just have fun. Let's create something that no one else has. This is ours to make as we want it. And if you want a family-friendly show, we're not going to have Robert Englund. We're not going to have all those people, because I don't want you to spend $125 an autograph. Like, I think ours 50 tops is Tyler Mane. I think that's the most expensive autograph we have, is what it is. He's got a guarantee. That's how life is. But did you spend $100 to go get his $50 autograph? No, you did not. You know, now you can go get some food at the concession. Now you can go to that artist and buy that $20 print. You can go get that T-shirt, and you know what? You get some keychains. You can go meet some other people, and you can have fun doing it. Plus, you just experienced a haunt too, and you got the crap scared out of you. Great.
yeah,
That is something no one else has. So conventions top to bottom usually kind of suck. I've been to Dragon Con. I've been to New York City Comic Con. I've been to Boston Comic Con. I've been all over the place. And the constant theme there is money. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's actually kind of sad that it's gotten to that point, because people have just accepted that fact and never questioned it, which sucks. So I've had many people, when I started this business over a year ago, because we were promoting just over a year, say, are you guys real? Is this just a real thing? Or are you trying to just get some quick cash and escape town? Like, what do you mean? You're cheap. And I said, oh, personally, I'm not cheap. I mean, I've got, you know, I like my stuff, but tickets are cheap. Yes, they don't have to be expensive. You know, I don't do this for a living. Granted, it takes most of my time up, but you don't have to charge somebody all that money. And that seems to be the only theme since I was 5 years old going to shows to 48, is that it's all about money. And that really blows. It's never about the fandom or the fans. I mean, hell, if somebody comes to my show and says, you know what, your show sucks. Okay, man, there's plenty of other shows out there. Did you go broke trying it out? I mean, we got way more vendors than a lot of other shows do that charge a lot more. You know, we've got excitement. You can be excited when you don't go broke. You can look forward to something when you're not broke. I mean, they have somebody that's in a great mood when they're broke. You know,
and like I'm gonna jump on what you were saying too. A lot of conventions, I feel bad for the poor vendors, because no one goes to the vendors, because
right.
they're standing in line for hours and hours waiting for, I'm just saying, William Shatner or somebody.
Sure.
And by the way, majority of the conventions too, is cash, 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 cash. So, like, how much money are you gonna really? How much cash is somebody really gonna bring to a convention? 300, 400, 500. Then once that's gone, it's gone. And then the vendors are a afterthought.
Right. Yeah, see, I've been a vendor, I've been an artist, I've been the owner. I've been a guest at a few shows, which I was fortunate enough to do. So I've been at every spot of that. I've volunteered for people. I've done photo ops for people before. So I've been at almost every facet of the convention community, even attendee, whatever. Uh, and I can just say, like, the odds are always with the house. Either the house can share the odds with you and make them greater for everybody, or they can take all the cash. And most of them have no problem with you going, here's my $50, here's my $100. I know the economy has turned around quite a bit, but I don't know any family that says, you know what, I'll spend 500 at South Carolina Horror. I'd give it back to them and be like, dude, just go in. Come on, man. Like, that's insulting. I love money. Don't get me wrong. Money's cool. Money's great. But to what means? Like, for what reason? Like, do I have enough to support my family? Yeah, we do fine. Do I need this show to make cash? I'm doing this because I love horror, man, and because it doesn't exist. I'm doing this to show people that they can have fun too, without just taking it up the rear end by the promoters. Somebody has a problem, I'm accessible, I'm visible, I'm pretty hard to miss.
Sure.
So if you have any problems, all the emails go to me, all the phone numbers. That's my phone number. That's you can call me any time of day. You can email me any time of day, and you'll get the owner of the show. Sure, I got some staffers working on it too here and there, but they can get to me in 2 seconds. And if you have a problem whatsoever, I'm right here, and I will answer any damn question, whether you like it or not. You'll have an honest answer. But our hearts are in the right place with the show. We've lived here for almost 2 years. It's been the nicest place we've ever lived. We don't plan on moving it off. And in my opinion, it's more of it's evolved to I want people to have a show they can go to too. I feel like it's my responsibility to give to my community. Plus, I want the money to stay in my community. My kids go to school here. We work here. We've got neighbors. We've got friends. And I don't like that most corporate shows just money goes elsewhere. No, I want it to go. I've spoken at schools before. I've done lectures at colleges about business, etc. Granted, I'm like the most unorthodox idiot in the world, but I've done it for so many years that it needs to be done, and it needs to be done this way because right now people are too damn greedy. And I'll face it. I mean, I have a nice house. I have everything I need. Great. I don't need to charge you 100 just to like buy a BMW or some shit. I want you to say, you know what, dude, that was a cool show. We want to come back next year. It's all I want to hear. And if they don't want to come back next year, adios. I'll just do other stuff. But I just think we're providing a need in a community that has been money hungry and money grubbing since day one. And there's got to be some shows that just say, you know what, F you. There's no way we're doing that.
And it's great it's great that you're bringing it to a state, South Carolina, who has a lot of horror fans. And unfortunately, up until recently, they would either have to go to North Carolina or they would have to go to Georgia to experience a convention. And to bring one to South Carolina is definitely amazing. Now, Jay,
it's funny you said that. One second, we had a contest yesterday for 4th of July. We do a lot of contests, like, hey, answer this cool question or this or that, or we'll let you know what's up with it. We had one that ended last night, and I said, tell me what you're excited about the most. And it was hard to pick because we had a lot of comments. I mean, it was crazy. It was one of our best posts. And somebody said something that really got me in the feels. It just said, to be around people that are, have all the same goals or like the same things, to build a community together and to have all the freaks in one place and hang out and just know that we're not alone. Like, dude, that was the best answer I've ever heard in my life. Here's your tickets, man. I mean, it takes nothing for somebody to say kind words, and we get them all the time, which is super cool. I mean, we are so humbled and proud to bring this to people. Like, I feel like I owe them so much, even though they're paying me to do it. And I'm not charging a ton, but I feel like we really morally owe them something that they can enjoy. It's like a moral imperative, man. Like, we have to just do it.
And that's why even on my channel, I wanted to bring recognition to the smaller cons.
Sure.
Everybody knows about Horror Hounds. Everybody knows about Days of the Dead. They know about Monster Mania.
They really are.
Yeah. And they know about Monster Mania and Steel City Con. Those guys don't want to talk to anybody, they and whatever. But but I like to bring, the smaller cons, I think, is the heart and soul of the horror community. They
Oh,
are where the real horror fans are at.
sure. See, I
So,
think we're in terms of movies, right? Horror Hound is like the Aaron on Street and the things like that, the iconic crap. We're more like Poultrygeist. We're more like
yes,
we're more like I don't know, something just very independent, very
a
cool.
trauma movie.
We're,
Yes.
we're like a trauma flick. I mean, we're like
Yes.
Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD
Yeah.
or terror. We are terror firmer. We're the ones that are really we're the baseline. Like we are, they'll do their business and that's fine. And then there's people that are crazy enough to put a second mortgage on their house to meet everybody and get big sign posters. I collect a lot of stuff, but I never go over budget. There's got to be some sort of balance in life. If you just have all heavy and nothing under here, it's just going to collapse. But if you have us, and we don't care that we're B movie style, we don't care that we're just, we're the small potatoes. I have no ego like that. It doesn't matter, man. Like I said, I've been going to punk ska rockabilly shows my whole life too. $2 shows, free shows, $10 shows, and you get to see people enjoy stuff. It's so much more an experience than paying like for AC/DC, who I love a lot, but I mean that's an expensive ticket.
Hmm.
For what? Like I spent 50 on a shirt when I spent $10 at that show. There's got to be a balance, and we're bringing more of a balance to the good side, because I can't see looking a customer in the eye and saying that'll be $100, please. It just leaves such a bad taste. Like I just robbed you, ha ha ha. No, I'm not gonna do that.
You're taking money
Cool.
out of the vendor's hands too. Yep.
Right. Not only that, but I'm sure their kid has to eat and go to college and shit, or
Yep.
they have to buy them Christmas presents in December. You know, like I went to a show recently where it was 100 for the weekend to get in, or 300 for a super VIP. I looked at their guest list. I'm like, man, we're kicking their ass in the guest list. What do they charge a 300 for? Like they get an extra shirt or something with a VIP bag. It's just like it's such inflated horseshit. It sucks. And I have such a distaste for other promoters, and they call me all the time, man. They message me hating my guts for charging 20.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, why do you charge 300 for nothing? Like I'm giving them the same thing for 20. Like, do you have that many people that work with you that you need to get rich throughout the year and you want to just make this your thing? Fine, but you'll have your audience, and that's great, man. Like I wish you the best, but I also detest you because you're literally destroying what's good about this community. Horror movies are B movies for the most part. They always have been. Nightmare on Elm Street didn't start out as a blockbuster. They barely made the movie. Return of the Living Dead. List goes on and on. I mean, there's so many movies that start out. Terrifier that just start out as B movies. We just want to make a damn film and do it for the love of the genre.
Exactly.
But they forget that meaning once they get big.
I mean, there's no way.
If I ever get 10,000 people at my show, you know what I would do? Switch venues next door to the Giant Stadium, charge them the same price, call it a day.
I mean, there's no way I could, as many horror conventions I go to, there's no way I would be able to afford, and I make a pretty decent living.
Sure.
There's no way I would be able to afford to go as many horror conventions if I didn't get that free press pass, because I do the walkthroughs.
Hell, I don't care if you're a billionaire, man. Who wants to drop $100 at a show, $300 at a show just to get in?
Pass, yeah, I'm about to say, without that press pass to get me in for free, I wouldn't be able to go to half of the conventions that I go to.
There's another thing. Press passes to my show. I get yelled at all the time for this. I don't care if you're CNN or a kid with a zine or like a high school kid doing a paper. Get your butt in here and check it out.
Exactly.
I don't ever say no to press passes. I don't even say no for people who want to protest my show. Like, go ahead, man. Whatever, dude. Do your thing. You do. I'm big. You do you. I'll do me, man. We're cool.
And there's some horror conventions that definitely get upset when I videotape their convention. I'm like, why? I'm bringing.
I just think there's bigger problems in the world than like if you come to me and you're a complete stranger, like we don't know each other before this video.
Mm-hmm.
I try to reach out and like create relationships and friendships. That's my attitude towards everything. Like if I say, oh, dude, like I said the other day, I have to reschedule for this. I'm going to be doing this. Totally accommodating and cool. I'm like, man, this guy's cool. But if you get to my show, like I want to videotape everyone. please, by all means, go right ahead. Let me show you everything,
Mhm.
you know, because I don't want you to miss anything. And even if you come in and say, I'm going to do a video of how much you suck. Well, here you go, man. Check it out.
Exactly.
Somebody's still going to know about me.
Because even bad press is good for us.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping some of the churches down here protest me. Whether it's because I've got tattoos, I'm the horror guy. We're not sacrificing goats on the floor or anything. I mean, I wear a lot of hats. I'm a poster artist. I'm a published author. I'm an associate producer for a new movie coming out, and all sorts of crap. But I mean, like, I don't sit there with all the titles on me or anything. Like, I'm just Jay, man. Come on by. Come to my house,
Yeah.
whatever, man.
Well, Jay, like I said, the horror room is definitely going to be down there to film and do a walkthrough. I'm definitely going to see you there. All right, and how can we purchase tickets and how can we find you on social media?
All right. So social media on everything, we're SC Horror Convention or SC Horror on Instagram, Facebook, etc. If you look up SC Horror, we're the only ones, but it'll say convention afterwards. You can go to schorror.com and get your tickets, $20 in advance. Day passes are $13 in advance for either day, but at the door will be $30 for the weekend or $15 for the day. We're not going to do the whole we're not going to do the switcheroo or anything on you with prices. Up until the night before the show, $20 gets you in all weekend, and $13 for whatever day you want. Easy peasy. We also sell tickets when we go to shows. I will be at Charlotte Comic Con coming up. I'll be at Soda City Comic Con in Columbia, and I will also be at Mad Monster in Charlotte as well, the 4-hour show, along with tons of other places in town. I'm usually at the movie theater or some other, record store or comic store or whatever, because I love comics too, man. So we're everywhere if you are. And also, if you're a charity, trust me, I'll get you a block of tickets for close to zip. It's literally just the cost of printing. But yeah, I mean, we don't really. I don't know. I don't really give a shit if people see me or not. I just want them to come have fun at the show, man. Like, I don't care about anything else.
And it sounds like a fun. I mean, listen, you got a haunted attraction, a convention, low prices,
After party,
after party. What else can you ask for?
See, I think this is why South Carolina gets excited. They have something that's their own. Yes. And by far and large, I've seen people around here, and they're very humble. They're very cool. They take the time to speak to you, which is super cool. And most places, it's not like that. Not up in Boston, it's not like that. So I'm just giving them back what they want, which luckily is something I want to give them.
And I'm glad you're it, my friend. All right. Well, I'm going to see you at the South Carolina Horror Convention. Everybody's going to be there. We're definitely going to see you. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. If you like this video, please hit that like and that subscribe button. All right, guys. I'm going to see you next time. Take care.